For today's video, we are continuing that trend of me revisiting lists that I've shared in the past to give you some more gameplay on them. However, today's is a little bit of a twist because I've pretty significantly modified this. In one of my videos, I shared a Prankster aggressive list that was actually built by Capada, and it features cards like Progress Day at the top end. And then since that time, the Prankster Aggro list have kind of evolved. I know that Swim, for example, has popularized a version with Teemo and is very low to the ground. This is the version I've been running as of late, and it includes Jinx and Experimenter as the top end. Experimenter ends up, I think, personally just being better than Progress Day, specifically when paired with Jinx, because you get a body, you kill a unit, you're very rarely discarding many cards, you're still getting the kind of net effect of drawing 3, you get to level up Jinx if she's on the board. Just overall, it's been great. So, as always, there will be a deck code in the video description, but I did want to point out that this is a bit different from the last Prankster Aggro deck that I had shared. But we are following the format of playing 2 games, win or lose, because that's just kind of what we're doing for the rest of this week. Showcasing the ups and downs of certain deck lists. We're also apparently going to showcase how long it takes for me to find a match. There we go. Maybe? Maybe now? Now we're loading? Connecting? Okay. Maybe not. Listen, Riot, alright? Kind of over the whole, like, getting pranked thing here. Pun intended. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Alright, so Zed and Hecarim appears to be our lineup. I really would like to find a 1-drop here. Keeping this, like, this is the best turn 2 play we can make in this deck, but this is the second best. So I really, yeah, I think we're going to keep this. I have a hard time throwing this back, even though I really want to hunt for a 1-drop. Like, even playing this on turn 2 or 3, right? Like, in this case, if we play this and then we play this on 3, it ends up not being terrible. A little bit of a bummer that we're not attacking on evens, because we would love to fire off this Cursed Keeper combo. We could play this now, but I think we're gonna wait. And I'm glad we waited. We're gonna get at least a trigger and get an early Prankster generation here. They have 6 mana to work with. There's the Zed. We have a Mystic Shot, but no real good way to use it. With 3 mana, I think you kind of have to assume they have something here, right? In this case, it's a Vile Feast. We push a little damage. If they go with the open attack, we just try to block Zed. If they don't go with the open attack, then we force out combat tricks from them. And if they play something like Twin here to protect it, then we have Get Excited as a follow-up. But in a perfect world, this just resolves.
They'll never see us coming.
I'm fine with taking the 2. I don't think we use this here. I'd rather just develop a Boom Crew and go into this next turn.
Of course I'm ready.
Alright, so I'm glad we held on to this because we do not want them to abuse that Moose later on by any means. You know, that's actually a bit of a tough call here. We would love to develop Jinx this turn and then maybe go into Experimenter, but that's probably a couple of turns off. We don't really want to use Get Excited to pitch either of these if we can help it, but...
I pull the string.
Yeah, it's probably a couple turns off. If we have to pitch one, pitching to Experimenter here makes the most sense.
Hold up.
All right.
Hang on, sir.
Kind of telegraphs a Vile Feast. There it is. But with only one left. Yeah, I mean, it hurts getting rid of the Experimenter. But it's probably the right call. We just really don't want them gaining health. The longer the game goes, though, I think the more it favors them because, you know, Hecarim is a bit of a nightmare for us.
Do not fear the shrouded.
That egg! Did it move?
Quite the dish, aren't you?
We go as one.
Please, I have connections!
They have a combat trick, they could eat our Boom Crew, which would suck, but... They've used 2 Vile Feasts. I mean, that also sucks. They've used 2 Vile Feasts, so the likely of the third one is pretty low, and if they used, like, a Mark, like, I'm okay with trading a Mark for that. We do get our leveled up Jinx, though.
Rules are made to be broken, like buildings or people.
This is a very close game, very tight game at the moment. We get our own Vile Feast. And a Mark.
Screaming helps, not at all.
So we're going to go this route because with Vile Feast and Mark we can play these while in combat and then potentially trigger a rocket. Try to get rid of this spider.
I hope this works. Backfired.
Hang on, Buzzball.
Hey!
Alright, 2 cards left. This will give us a rocket. And if it resolves, we get the 1 damage on the Zed, and the rocket will hopefully clean that up if they don't have a way to protect it. I was gonna say, they're gonna pass knowing that the rocket's coming. They don't want to take damage on anything else, but this rocket is huge for us. I love this animation, too. I know that it used to just take a million years. Oh, they had another duo. No wonder they passed. Hot damn. Oh, what a 2-card combo there. Alright, so they go with the Hecarim.
You're starting to bore me.
As weird as it sounds, I actually think that it might be proper to give up our Prankster here. Like, it prevents additional damage, and even though they have the 1 card at 9, well, I guess there was only 1 card in hand. Like, worst case scenario would be what, Mark?
More pew-pewing.
I mean, we're gonna do this either way, and this should resolve before this. So really, it's just... Yeah. There we go. You can likely safely just not block Hecarim there, right? I just worry about them having something like Atrocity, right? They have one card left. If we take the 9 and we go pretty low there, we just take it full unbridled, and then post-combat we go to play Rocket, and then they play like Atrocity. I think we're still safe, but it's one of those, like, why leave it to chance, you know? You've basically got the game locked up. We're gonna play a second game, but we're gonna open this epic capsule so that you can see my amazing rewards. I can't complain. All right. Back to pranking people with Jinx. I don't feel like we waited nearly as long that time, gang. Frost Booty Irelia. It's a good old skin reference. All right. Potentially the same deck list, or at least very similar. Mark is great. Got 1 and 2 drops. The second Aristocrat is a bit of a bummer, but I guess I don't hate it too much if we get another glimpse now, so.
No.
Vile Feast here as well isn't terrible.
I don't bite.
We could have just not played this and then saved the Aristocrat to catch her with Mark of the Isles, but alright, we're gonna slow play this a bit because we kind of want to bait mana out. They still have enough for a Vile Feast. So that's our biggest concern at the moment, is actually Vile Feast in response to us trying to glimpse. We'd love to draw the cards here. We could just play Boom Crew and then attack as well. Alright, yeah, I think I prefer that. So we'll go this route.
What's your hurry?
Time to go.
Just get some chip damage in.
Please, I have connections.
They don't really have many ways to give just legitimately +1. Oh, they could just hit it with a Vile Feast though. Okay. So let's do this. Yeah. I was considering blocking with the Boom Crew there because it survives, but let's see if they have a Vile Feast now. I mean, I assume they do. Yep, there it is.
We must all make sacrifices.
And then what, Arachnid? Just another
pull the
release. Fair enough.
strings.
Alright, so it's not looking great for us. They have far more cards in hand. Just an overall better board.
Let's make it.
And we have not even pressured them for enough health yet. And with Hecarim coming next turn, unlike the last time around, I think this one's going to end up being a loss. We could top deck something like an Experimenter, maybe buy ourselves some time.
Just gonna put this here. Better run.
So young.
Well, they keep winning the trades. They glimpsed and we didn't. They Black Spear when we feast. It's just not going well. But again, like if we find an Experimenter here, I'd happily give up this mark just to refill our hand a bit. Mystic Shot's actually not terrible. In terms of the, like, just trying to buy ourselves time, I guess is the way that I should word that. They have another glimpse. They are far better at looking into the beyond than I am. I respect that.
We could use a bite.
You break it, you buy it.
Oh my Cthulhu. They have looked into the deep, dark depths of Beyond. Well, we probably just lose this on principle. Not just finding all of your glimpses, but successfully hitting all three. And then we literally, like no joke, we can't even play or get excited here. Yep, there's the inevitable Hecarim. When you've drawn, they've almost drawn half of their deck. Like we're on round 7. They are 6 cards deeper than we are. Oh, they've had skitterers too. So that's sad because we kind of wanted to block Hecarim here just to get 3 damage on it and then try to clean it up with the Get Excited, but I think we just lose now, right? I mean, we can try to pull 4 damage off. If they have Mark of the Isles or anything that protects this, then it is in fact just a loss. Theoretically, we can maybe buy ourselves time here. We're 1 off them dead
need a closer look.
at the moment. Now there it is. GG. It was fun, but we just got out glimpsed. We needed to find an Experimenter. So kind of looking back at that loss, you could argue, so when they glimpsed, and I tried to glimpse, mine got shut down by the Vile Feast that we kind of knew was coming. So like just assessing that play mistake, what likely should have happened, it's a bit of a gamble because we really wanted to glimpse at that point. Our hand was not very good, but if we just let their glimpse go off, there's a chance that they just spend enough of their mana after the glimpse. There's no way of us to know if they would have, because they played the Vile Feast in response and then they played the Horror. There's a chance they still just play the Horror, never spend the other 2 mana and pass. But if they, you know, play 3 or 4 mana worth of stuff, then we get the opportunity to glimpse, which means we're a couple cards deeper. Maybe we find an answer. That being said, they had all 3 of their glimpses. They were in a pretty commanding position. They hit the Hecarim. They had multiple skitterers. even if we're 2 cards deeper, unless one of them was an experimenter or just something kind of riveting or backbreaking, I don't think we turned that one around. I think we were just outdrawn. But that likely was a play mistake. So it's always good when you lose. Honestly, it's good when you win as well, to go back and kind of rethink what went wrong, you know, what you could have done better. When I'm editing these videos, I know I'm ranting here at the end and you probably don't care, but if you're still here and you're listening, when I edit these videos, you know, I see the play mistakes. It's so funny. Like, I'll post something on YouTube and inevitably there will be a comment like, hey, you missed this, or you should have done that. And, you know, 90% of the time, the people posting those things are correct. And I notice it after the fact in editing for sure. And that's something that, even if you're not a content creator, and I know the game doesn't have an in-game replay system yet, but if you've just got the ability to kind of like record your games locally, go back and look at your games, because you will learn a lot. And I find that, you know, in cases like this, for example, there's a very clear spot where I probably could have played it better. But I end up, I think, learning more from my wins, because it's a very common thing when you win a game to just go like, oh yeah, things went well. And then you compartmentalize it and move on because you got the desired outcome. And even in games that I have won, I will oftentimes go back and be like, man, I totally could have played that better, but I wasn't really thinking about it, and I didn't decompress after the game was over to kind of like rethink how things went in my head, because I won, right? That's the end result that you're looking for. You win, you move on, you don't think about it anymore. So if you are still there and you're listening to this, I would highly recommend checking out your games. Make sure that you kind of think about your games when you have just finished them while it's fresh in your mind. Go back and look at your games, even the wins. You can learn a lot. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you did make it this far, I love you. I appreciate you. And, you know, until next time, have fun on the ladder.